Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome. Today is Thursday, April 16th, and I hope that all of you guys are doing good on this beautiful Thursday morning. Let's go ahead and get started with ELA. We are going to continue with Unit 9 in our book of buyers and sellers. And today's story that we're going to look at is titled Goat and Bear in Business. And this is on page 10. All right. Follow along with me as I read. I do have my highlighter ready, my pens just to annotate as I read. All right. Let me just get my highlighter ready. And here we go. Goat and Bear in Business. All right, and as I read along, boys and girls, I want you guys to try your best to remember here what happens at the beginning of the story, in the middle of the story, and at the end of the story, because you will be writing about it today, okay? Here we go, paragraph 1. Goat and Bear were best friends. One day, the two decided to go into business so they could earn some money. The word earn, it means to make. So they decided to go into business so that they can make some money. I'm going to sell my delicious baked potatoes, said Bear. I'll sell my delectable raisin buns, exclaimed Goat. All right. I want you guys to take a look at these two words, delicious and delectable. Those words are synonyms, and they're both words to describe something that's good. I can say that something is delicious, like his delicious baked potatoes, and I can say that something is delectable, like the delectable raisin buns. Boys and girls, I'm sorry that I'm clearing my throat so much this morning. I'm sure we'll do very well, declared Bear. We'll be very successful, added Goat. Paragraph 6. The friends couldn't wait to get started. So the next morning, they went to the market to sell their goods. Look, they went to the market, kind of like a farmer's market. They went to sell their goods. What were their goods, guys? What were they selling? Remember over here, they were selling their baked potatoes and their raisin buns. So those were the goods that they were selling. So let's make a note of that over here. Their goods were the baked potatoes and raisin buns. So those were the goods that they were selling. Those were their goods. Boys and girls, if I'm going too fast for some of you, remember you can always pause this and then keep writing and then push play when you're ready to go on. All right? Paragraph 7. After they set out their food, they waited for the customers to arrive. What is a customer? What is a customer? A customer is a person who's going to buy from them. Whoever goes up and buys their goods, those are their customers. If you go to a store and you buy something, you are a customer. Before long, Goat was hungry. He had a nickel in his pocket, so he purchased one of Bear's potatoes. Purchased, which just means that he bought a potato. So Goat was hungry and he bought one of Bear's potatoes. Turn the page. Paragraph 8. Soon, Bear was hungry too. So he took the nickel he had made and bought one of Goat's raisin buns. So now Bear was hungry, and he used the nickel that Goat gave him for the baked potato. Right? Remember over here, when Goat was hungry, so he bought a baked potato, and he paid a nickel for it. 5 cents. He paid a nickel for the baked potato. And then over here, Bear was hungry, so he used that nickel to buy a raisin bun. Let's see what happens. Goat was delighted with his first sale. Now he had a nickel. To celebrate, he purchased another potato from Bear. By the time Goat had finished the potato, Bear was back to buy another raisin bun for a nickel. All afternoon, Goat and Bear went back and forth in the same way. I want you guys to notice that, where it says Goat and Bear went back and forth in the same way. Do you guys understand what's happening here? Okay. They keep going back and forth, buying each other's food using the same nickel. Okay. Goat is hungry, so he buys from Bear, and he pays him a nickel. And then Bear uses that nickel, and he buys from Goat using the nickel. And then Goat is hungry again, and he buys from Bear. So they just keep going back and forth with the same nickel. By the end of the day, they were pleased to see that all their food was gone. So they were happy. Right here, they were pleased to see that all their food was gone. But guys, who was eating all their food? Okay. However, when they counted their money, the two friends were puzzled. Puzzled. That means that they were confused. That's what puzzled means here, confused. They didn't understand how they could sell everything and have only one nickel. So they were so confused because they thought, well, all of our food is gone, but we only have one nickel. So why was all their food gone? It was gone because over here, it's said here that they went back and forth in the same way, and they were using the same nickel. They never really made any money. So over here, let's write Bear and Goat. They bought each other's food each other's goods using the same nickel. So that is why this was so confusing to them, because all their food was gone, but they only had a nickel. This is one of my favorite stories, boys and girls. I think it's kind of funny how they did that, right? They were so excited over here to celebrate. Right? Well, Goat was excited, so he went and he bought something else. And then Bear was excited and he went back and bought something else. And they just kept going back and forth. Right? So what we're going to do now, guys, I want you guys to, and again, if you have a little notebook like this, like mine, okay, and this is just where we did our very first flow map here of the baseball bat. This is where I have my science notes. Yesterday when we talked about compound words and possessives. On this in this same notebook, or if you have pieces of paper, we are going to do another flow map where you tell me about the beginning, the middle, and the end of this story, okay? And I kind of already started to get mine ready. So first of all, I put the date on there. Here's the date. Then I turned it over this way, and on the top I put the title, Goat and Bear in Business. And this is where I will talk about I'll write what happened in the beginning, in the middle, and then we'll do the end. Okay? So, and you can always use the story to go back. I am going to do the beginning with you guys. And then today, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to go ahead and do the middle and the end on your own. And again, you can always use this book here to go back and do that, okay? So, what happened at the beginning of the story, boys and girls? In the beginning of the story, Bear and Goat decided to become business partners, because it says here, one day the two decided to go into business so they could earn some money. So they became business partners. So that's exactly what I'm going to write here. Bear and Goat decided to go into business. Okay. Do you guys remember what Bear was going to sell? Let's see. He says here in paragraph 2, I'm going to sell my delicious baked potatoes. All right. So that's exactly what I'm going to write here. Bear sold baked potatoes. Oops, I spelled that wrong. It's an E. Bear sold baked potatoes. And then what was Goat going to sell? It says here in paragraph 3, I'll sell my delectable raisin buns. That's what I'm going to write here. Goat sold his raisin buns. I'm going to make my box longer here. So that's what happened at the beginning of the story. In the beginning of the story, Bear and Goat decided to go into business. Bear sold baked potatoes. Goat sold his raisin buns. I want you guys to go ahead and go back to the story and write a couple of sentences here telling me what happened in the middle of the story. And when you're done with that, close your box. Just make your line here like I did mine. And remember, boys and girls, I leave it open on the bottom just in case you need more space. And then what you can do once you close it, you can make your other box for the end of the story right here at the bottom. Right here. Then you can make your arrow going down this way. And this will be for the end. So again, we just did the beginning together. I want you guys to go back to the story and tell me what happened in the middle of the story and then what happened at the end of the story. All right? What I want you guys to do with this, when you are done with this flow map, I want you guys to have your parents help you take a picture of it and send it to me on Class Dojo. All right? Okay. Let's go on to our next story. The next story, boys and girls, is on page 14. So here we are on page 14. And this one is titled A Baker's Dozen. What I want you guys to do as I read, I want you guys to have your pencil ready or a highlighter ready, because you are going to circle and highlight all the words that end with L-Y or Y. All right? Those are the two you are looking for. Words that end in L-Y or Y. All right? Paragraph 1, let's begin. A baker's dozen. Long ago, there lived a fine baker. He was able to make good living. I'm sorry, guys. He was able to make a good living for his family. There's an ly word, family. It ends in ly. As he stood in his shop, he felt happy. There's a y. What good rolls, cookies, and bread. Suddenly, there's ly. Highlight the word. A woman with a pointy hat and beady eyes marched in. I want a dozen rolls, she demanded. The baker counted out 12 rolls and wrapped them carefully. It's an ly. Other bakers gave me 13 rolls, she growled. Paragraph 3. A dozen means 12, he answered. The woman glared and tapped her nose. Then she stormed out angrily. There's an ly. Paragraph 5. The following week went badly for the baker. The bread did not rise. The cookies were sticky. The rolls burned. His customers went to other shops. Poor unlucky me, he cried. That nasty woman must have put a spell in my shop. Paragraph 6. Just then the door opened. In walked the same woman. I want a dozen muffins, she growled. Quickly, the baker tossed 13 muffins into a bag. From then on, things went well again. And just to be on the safe side, the baker always gave his customers 13, a baker's dozen. So that's what a baker's dozen is, boys and girls. It's 13. A dozen is 12, but a baker's dozen is 13. If I skipped any words, boys and girls, that end in ly and y, you may go ahead and go back and highlight those. All right, let's go on to our math. All right, and again, I'm using this math book here. All right, and today we are analyzing picture graphs. Before I get started with today's lesson, though, I want to go back and look at the homework and then the this part that you were supposed to do on your own yesterday. All right, so here, this was problem 4, and this was on page 538. You were supposed to have 1 tulip, 2 daisies, 5 roses, and 2 carnations. Number 5, it was supposed to be 5 students for math, 3 students for science, 3 for reading, and 4 for art. All right, and I just drew my little pictures there. And boys and girls, that's not a nose. That's like a little science beaker that they use in science to measure chemicals and liquids and stuff. All right, and in the homework, okay, hopefully you guys did okay with it yesterday, but here are the answers so that you guys can correct it. So here's a tally chart, and you were supposed to make a picture graph. So for elephant, and boys and girls on here, I'm not good at drawing elephants or giraffes or bears. I can draw snakes. So for elephants, I just did circles, and there were 4 students that liked elephants, 5 students that liked giraffes, 4 students that liked bears, and 3 students that liked snakes. For number 2, for their favorite cookies, and again, here's a tally chart. You were supposed to take your tally chart and make it into a picture graph. 4 students like chocolate chip, 5 students like peanut butter, 4 students like oatmeal raisin, and 3 students liked sugar cookies. So I'm hoping you guys did okay with your picture graphs. Today, we are going to analyze picture graphs. And analyze, boys and girls, basically means to study the picture graph, to look at it, to try to figure out the answers here. So analyze, I'm going to circle the word analyze, and that means to study or to look at. Study or look at. So these picture graphs, boys and girls, they're already done for you, and they're going to ask you questions about them. And you have to use the picture graph to answer the question. All right, like this picture graph here. This one is the favorite dinner. All right, so spaghetti. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people like spaghetti, so I'm going to put the 4 here, right there. Then we have tacos. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 liked tacos. 2 liked chicken. And 1 liked meatloaf. All right, so we're looking at this picture graph and we're analyzing it, we're studying it. And I can see that these are the amount of people that like those items. And then the question here says, which dinner is the least favorite? So the least, that means you want to pick the one that has the smallest number, the least. Which one is the least favorite? I see that the smallest one here is 1, and that is the meatloaf. So I'm going to write that down here. Meat loaf. Turn the page. See and show. It says you can use a picture graph to answer the questions. Here's a picture graph for the favorite pet. And then they have fish, dog, and cat. And then here the key says each animal picture equals 1 vote. And the question here is, what pet is the favorite? So which one is the favorite, boys and girls? It is the fish. All right. And then the next question is, how many votes does each picture show? Each picture shows 1 vote. So what that means is that this picture is 1, this picture is 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. Let's go on here. It says use the data from the graph to answer the question. So we're going to use this information here to answer the questions. And the data, the picture graph, boys and girls, is already done for us. So let's go ahead and just use it to answer the questions. Number 1, what activity is liked the least? The least. And again, this picture graph, it says favorite summer activity. Okay, so I can see here that 5 students, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like to swim. 3 students like to bike ride. 2 students like to rollerblade, and 3 students like to play baseball. So which one is liked the least? The one with the least amount is the rollerblade. So what activity is it? We're going to write down rollerblade. All right. Number 2, which 2 activities have the same number of votes? So I'm looking for the 2 that have the same number of votes. So the 2 with the same number are bike ride and baseball because they both have 3. So that's what I'm going to write here. Bike ride and baseball. And then number 3, how many people like to swim and play baseball in all? So I'm looking at swim and baseball. And it says in all. Remember that in all, boys and girls, tells us that we have to add those. All right? So swim has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And baseball has 1, 2, 3. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Correct answer here is 8. All right. This one here, go ahead and put the date. 16, 20, 20. For this page, boys and girls, I want you guys to take a look at the graph. I'm going to have you guys do this one on your own, but I don't want you to do, actually, you know what? Never mind. Let's do this one together. But we're not going to do number 7. Okay, so I'm going to cross out number 7. We're not going to do that one. But let's go ahead and quickly do this one together. This picture graph shows how we get to school. Okay? Right here I have 2 students that ride the bus, 5 students that walk, 1 student rides their bike, and 2 students go in a car. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at number 4. How do most students get to school? How do most of the students get to school? Most students. I can see here that most students walk. Walk. Number 5. How many students ride the bus and ride in cars? So how many students ride the bus and ride in cars? So I'm looking at the bus and the cars together. So bus is 2 and car is 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. All right. Number 6, how many students voted? How many students voted here? I can see that each picture is 1 vote. So each of these stands for 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 10 students voted. All right. I told you guys we were going to skip number 7. Number 8, it says write a question that can be answered using the data in the picture graph. Okay? Write a question that I can answer using here. A question that I can ask you guys is this: how many more students walk than ride the bus? Okay? Let's say how many more students walk than ride the bus. Okay? How many more students walk than ride the bus? And on number 9, it says write a number sentence you can use to answer your question. So I'm going to write a number sentence that's going to help me answer this question. Remember that whenever it says how many more, it usually means to subtract. How many more students walk? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students walk minus riding the bus. 2 students ride the bus. So 5 take away 2 equals 3. So 3 more students walk than ride the bus. Okay. Turn the page. This is your problem-solving page. It says use the data from the graph to answer the questions. Okay, look at your graph. It says favorite pizza toppings. We have pepperoni. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students like pepperoni. 2 people liked sausage. 4 people liked cheese, and 3 people liked vegetables. Number 10 says 3 more people were surveyed. They all like cheese. What topping is now the favorite? So it's telling me that they asked 3 more people and they all liked cheese. So that means for cheese, I'm going to have 3 more people. 1, 2, 3. So now which one is the favorite? Okay. Now cheese has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now The cheese is the favorite. Cheese. There it is. All right. Number 11, it says Carter voted for cheese. So Carter voted for cheese. Kylie voted for vegetables. So Kylie voted vegetables. Whose favorite pizza topping got more votes? Who's got more votes? Remember, Carter got cheese. Here's cheese. And Kylie got vegetables. Whose has more votes, boys and girls? It is Carter. Carter. All right. I want you guys to go ahead and put the video on pause, and then I want you guys to go ahead and work on the homework page. And here it is, and you're doing the same thing. I want you to do here, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then turn the page. And then I want you to do this back page number 5 and 6. All right. If you want to go ahead and put this on pause while you finish this, and then you may push play when you are ready to continue. And I'm going to move on to social studies, where we talk about families, and we're going to do the lesson check number 1. And here it is. So, boys and girls, on Tuesday, we did this part. We did the quest, okay, where we talked about like what kind of questions you would ask your grandparents if you were doing an interview. And then we read here, where we read about what does family mean to you. And then we also read here about a community and how communities help each other. And then yesterday, we read about respect and responsibility and how we learn things from our families and why that's important. So today, let's go ahead and do this lesson 1 check. Okay? Number 4, it says, finish this sentence. The people in my family make a difference in my life because... Okay? I'm going to write my sentence, boys and girls, but I don't want you to copy it. I want you to think of your own. Again, it says, the people in my family make a difference in my life because... Okay? How does your family make a difference in your life? Maybe because they love you guys all love each other. They take good care of you. You guys help each other. Again, tell me about how they make a difference in your life. Okay? Again, the people in my family make a difference in my life because I'm going to say we all help each other out. I know that's how my family makes a difference in my life, because whenever somebody's in help or we're ever in trouble or we all need something, we all help each other out. I know I can always ask somebody in my family to help me do something. And that's how that makes a difference in my life. Number 5, it says draw a picture on a separate sheet of paper. Show what a family member has taught you that helps you in your life. Again, and you can do this in your little notebook, boys and girls, the one we've been working on, where we just did our flow maps. You can draw that there. Okay? Again, look at what it says. Show what a family member has taught you, something that a family member has taught you that helps you in your life. Maybe your dad has taught you how to ride a bike. Maybe somebody in your family has taught you how to tie your shoe. Maybe your mom showed you how to cook something, and that has helped you in your life, because when you're hungry, now you know how to make a snack. I want to see a picture of that. And again, when you're done with your picture, take a picture of it and then send it to me on Dojo. All right? And number 6, it says draw conclusions. How is a community of people similar to a family? We read about that over here. Right here. Okay. And right here it says they care about each other's safety. In a community, your community, you guys all care about each other's safety. Well, doesn't a family do the same thing? So that's how they're similar. Remember, similar means the same. So I'm going to say They are similar because they both, or I'll just say they care for the safety of one another. That's how a family is similar to a community, a family and a community, because in my family, we care about each other's safety. And the same thing happens in a community. You all care about each other's safety. You make sure everybody's safe. Okay? If somebody's doing something that they shouldn't be doing in your neighborhood, you go and you tell the other neighbors, hey, I saw this man. He looked like he was snooping around. You know, you tell each other because you care about each other. And the same thing for your family. You take care of one another. Okay? Let's go on to our science. Boys and girls, today for science, all I want you guys to do is, if you did not do yesterday's lesson, you're just going to continue with it today. If you didn't get a chance to do it, again, yesterday, you were describing some kinds of flowers you have seen. Tell about their colors and sizes, and then I want you to draw me a picture. So you were supposed to go outside yesterday and go and take a look at some of the flowers that you have out there and draw me the pictures of the flowers, and then tell about their colors and sizes. You're telling me how they are different, okay? And then once that's done, you can send me a picture, all right? So you were supposed to send me 3 pictures today, boys and girls. The picture of your flow map here, this one. The one of the goat and bear in business. Take me a picture of the completed flow map. Take me a picture of your family, somebody that has taught you to do something, and then send me a picture of your flowers. All right. And then the last thing for today, boys and girls, I want you guys to try this at home. Okay, this is our PE, and you are going to crawl like a seal. And boys and girls, my apologies, I don't have anybody to demonstrate this for you today. Okay, but here it is. Okay? Crawl like a seal. It says, lie on your stomach, your arms straight out front. So you're going to put your arms in front of you. You're going to lie down on your stomach, facing down, your arms straight in front of you, and use your arms to pull your lower body along, keeping your legs and your back straight. So you're basically crawling like a seal. You're lying flat on your tummy, face down, but your arms are straight in front of you, and you're using your arms to kind of drag your body along like a seal.
I want to do it.
You want to try it? Okay, Joelle said she was going to try it, boys and girls. Let's see. Okay, so lay on your arms. Let's see how well she can crawl like a seal. Lay flat on your tummy. And just like a seal, boys and girls, your arms straight out in front of you. And she's going to use her arms to, you can pick up your head because a seal goes, and use your arms to drag your body like a seal, Joelle. Go. Only your arms. You're pulling the rug though. Go. Like a seal. Oh, is that hard, Joelle?
Yeah.
Keep going like a seal. Cool. And see how far you guys can get, boys and girls. All right. Keep going like a seal. Look, she's not moving her legs or anything. They're all dragging along. Just like us. Oh, it'll be easier on the floor now. Just like a seal, okay? Thank you guys for joining me today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Say bye, Joelle.
Bye.